the Giant's Causeway in Ireland. Looking at this blows my mind. This is a completely natural structure, and they have hexagon, like 3D hexagon shapes. I don't even know how nature did this and why it doesn't show up in like other places in the world. If it does, please let me know. But I wanted to put that there just to prove that it's not impossible for kind of geometric designs to turn up in nature. So I'm keeping that in the back of my mind while I'm looking at this, because not everything geometric is man-made. Looking at some of the photos here, there are areas of the site which almost look like they've been hollowed out. It looks like a swimming pool or like an arena or a theatre. But is it possible to completely pull out, like literally pulling out a scoop of ice cream out of an ice cream tub? Does that happen in nature? I can appreciate why the rock might have fallen off the side of the monument and fallen off, but can it fall like out of in like a dip? Is that possible? What's interesting about the shape of Yonaguni, it's got a very unusual shape. It's very sort of rectangular, and it reminds me, it's not too dissimilar to the very, very early building styles in Mesopotamia, like some of the oldest structures that humans ever made. They do have a similar thing to them. I can see a similarity in aesthetics, that's all I'm saying. And it would be interesting whether or not these people who were building these Mesopotamian buildings, were they building it off an older style, or were they trying to replicate like an older style of monument or an older style of megalithic architecture? It's similar, but is it enough to say it's a copy? I don't know. We're putting that in the maybe pile. Oh, now this was interesting. On YouTube, I found a video that I believe they might be Russian. I'm so sorry if they're not. They went out to the site to investigate, and they brought up this very interesting thing that there is a cemetery, I believe in Japan, that this is the style of tomb there, which have very similar, again, rectangle shapes that have like steps that don't necessarily need to be symmetrical. I don't know, it just seemed to have it was just interesting that they brought that up, that Japanese tombs happen to look somewhat similar and have that kind of oblong rectangle shape with the weird steps and the sort of areas. Probably a coincidence, but interesting. I don't think that this place is a tomb. There doesn't seem to be any evidence of anything being buried there, or there doesn't seem to be any evidence of like human settlement at all. But that doesn't rule out that it could not have been shaped by humans. Does that make sense? That there's nothing to say that people were like living in or around this monument.